Millions of people with diabetes around the world do not have access to diabetes care, and people with diabetes require ongoing care and support to manage their condition and avoid complications. Advocates for proper treatment of the ailment say medicine, technologies, support, and care should be made available for the treatment of people living with a health condition. Governments are also being advised to increase investments in diabetes care and prevention. And Senior Health Advisor, Lagos Health Summit, Dr. Azeezat Yishawu joins me now to share more insight. Good to have you join us, Dr. Yishawu.
Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon.
So let's start by establishing what really causes diabetes, because sometimes we all attribute diabetes to high blood sugar, and that's what a lot of people know about it. Talk to us about what diabetes really is and the cause of it.
Okay, so basically, diabetes is a medical condition that, a sufferer is unable to process, the micromolecules of sugar in the body to provide energy for the body to use. So basically, most of the food that we eat are broken down into smaller forms that are eventually used by the body to make energy. So for these molecules to be converted to an energible form, we make use of a particular hormone called insulin that is produced by cells in the liver. So if for one reason or the other the liver is unable to provide this hormone that helps to break down the glucose level in the body, then you see that this sugar is then accumulated in the bloodstream, and then they have a lot of effect on the body. So basically, one is said to be diabetic if the person is unable to have a certain number of sugar level in their body, or if the number of sugar in the level is higher and the body is unable to, use or convert those sugar to other forms that can be used by the cell. So we have the normal range, which is below 100 to 120 for non-diabetic, and then when it is above 120, such person is said to be pre-diabetic, and then when it's above that, then the person is said to be diabetic as well. So that's basically the short form of diabetes.
And what we are told most times in terms of prevention is to avoid sugar. And when you look at the staple that we have here in Nigeria, especially even in Africa, it's mostly sugar. Even whether it's starch or cassava or rice, it's all mostly sugar. It all breaks down into sugar. So talk to us about what we can do for those who are not living with diabetes right now. What can they do to prevent the disease?
Yes, because of the pathophysiology of the type of diabetes that is common in Nigeria, which is type 2 diabetes, which occurs when the cells, the beta cells in the liver, which are responsible for producing insulin, are worn out. So that is, there's continuous, the cells have been stimulated to continuously produce insulin, and after a period of time, they no longer are able to produce that insulin. And from research, it has shown that because of our diet or because of processed food and so on and so forth, a large number of sugar is brought into the system, and the liver and these cells have to continuously produce insulin. So over time they get worn out, and then they are unable to produce insulin, and then such individual is unable to process the sugar. So this advice comes from the fact that you should start first by not bombarding your system with too much sugar or with a lot of sugar. So for those, as part of dietary advice, you are advised to limit the number of sugar, particularly fast sugar. I call it fast sugar, processed sugar, the kind of sugar that you find in processed food. So in your soft drinks, in your confectionaries and so on and so forth. Those are non-natural sugar, and once they get into your system, they overwhelm your system. So that dietary advice is coming as a result of the fact that when you do this continuously for a very long time, you understand, the cells of the liver that produce this insulin will be worn out, and then you are of course at a high risk of developing diabetes. Bearing in mind that this is something that is common in us, there's a genetic aspect to it, there's a familiar aspect to it, and also diabetes comes with other form of non-communicable disease like hypertension and the rest as well.
And I wish we have enough time to talk about treatment and lifestyle of those who are living with it, because that's actually the focus for the year. But my time is up. Always great to have you talk to us. Senior Health Advisor, Lagos Health Summit, Dr. Azeezat Yishawu.
Thank you so much for having me.